Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dave, and we're back with our next reading of the Old Testament. I got a little sunblock here. It's very, very bright over there. If you've been following along, you know that we're in the book of Numbers, and today we're going to be on chapter 35. We'll be reading out of my New King James Version. And let's see here. We're on chapter 35, so we're going to talk about cities of the Levites. Cities for the Levites, and then cities of refuge. A total of only 34 verses today. Remember, as always, if you don't have a Bible, go to Bible.com and read for free. You can also download the YouVersion app and read for free as well there. If you don't have a church that you're going to, remember that you can always worship God from home. If you can find a church, go to one. It's always good to surround yourselves with like-minded believers, all right? All right, let's see here. All right, let's go ahead and get going. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession, and that you also give the Levites common land around the cities. They shall have the cities to dwell in, and their common land shall be for their cattle, for their herds, and for all their animals. The common land of the cities which you will give the Levites shall extend from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. The city shall be in the middle. This shall belong to them as common land for the cities. Now, among the cities which you will give to the Levites, you shall appoint 6 cities of refuge, to which a manslayer may flee. And to these you shall add 42 cities. So all the cities you shall give to the Levites shall be 48. These you shall give with their common land, and these cities you give shall be from the possession of the children of Israel. From the larger tribe you shall give many, from the smaller you shall give few. Each shall give some of its cities to the Levites, in proportion to the inheritance that each receives. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you cross the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall appoint cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer who kills any person accidentally may flee there. They shall be cities of refuge for you from the avenger, that the manslayer may not die until he stands before the congregation in judgment. And of the cities which you give, you shall have 6 cities of refuge. You shall appoint 3 cities on this side of the Jordan, and 3 cities you shall appoint in the land of Canaan, which will be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be for refuge for the children of Israel, for the stranger and for the sojourner among them, that anyone who kills a person accidentally may flee there. But if he strikes him with an iron implement, so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he strikes him with a stone in the hand by which he could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he strikes him with a wooden hand weapon by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The avenger of blood himself shall put the murderer to death. When he meets him, he shall put him to death. If he pushes him out of hatred, or while lying in wait, hurls something at him so that he dies, or in enmity, he strikes him with his hand so that he dies, the one who struck him shall be surely put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. However, if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws anything at him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which the man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him so that he dies while he was not his enemy, or seeking him harm, then the congregation shall judge between manslayer and the avenger of blood according to these judgments. So the congregation shall deliver the manslayer from the hand of the avenger of blood, and the congregation shall return him to the city of refuge where he had fled, and he shall remain there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with holy oil. But if the manslayer at any time goes outside the limits of the city of refuge where he fled, the avenger of blood finds him outside the limits of his city of refuge, and the avenger of blood kills the manslayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained inside the city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer may return to the land of his possession. And these things shall be a statute of judgment to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever kills a person, the murderer shall be put to death on the testimony of witnesses. But one witness is not sufficient testimony against a person for the death penalty. Moreover, you shall take no ransom for the life of the murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. And you shall take no ransom for him who has fled to the city of refuge, for he may return to dwell in the land before the death of the priest. So you shall not pollute the land where you are, for blood defiles the land, and no atonement can be made for the land for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. Therefore do not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. Well, that was an interesting chapter. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your support here on the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to take a second here to selfishly plug my book, Stanley the Snail and the Great Garden Race. If you haven't heard about it, just head on over to EverDave.com, and it will be one of the first links that you see there. It's a children's book that I wrote, and it's available on Amazon, and it's only $10.99. And if you're an Amazon Prime, of course, shipping is free. So Stanley the Snail and the Great Garden Race, it's my little kid's book. All right, children's book. All right, check it out. God bless from Central Texas. Have a great day.
When life keeps falling and wonder where he is in all this mess, he's right there to guide you. Unseen, you're not alone.